Let's play a little more Banfield because I want to get annoyed again.
I'm curious, Alex. I'm not going to suggest for a minute that you have been able to dig into the digital files of all of these people, the party guests, Jordan Willis, etc. That's likely something that is tightly held by the police. But is that a mine that should be looked at this point? The fact that maybe there was a whole bunch of chit chat between all the guys before they came over for the visit to Jordan Willis's house pertaining to what they might be bringing with them for fun, party favors.
I think that's a great question. I think that if this does move to criminal prosecution, certainly phone lines and text messages, Facebook messages, social media chats, that's all going to be closely examined. Obviously, we heard yesterday from the cousin of Clayton, Caleb, who said that this was just a normal activity that happens when surrounded by Jordan, that he is known to manufacture and distribute drugs to his friends for recreational purposes, was that line of thought. But certainly, I think the families, when speaking to them, they're not against criminal prosecution, but only if it actually is deemed to be criminal behavior in terms of maybe passing out these drugs, which ultimately led to their deaths. They're not saying, they're not pushing for that. Yesterday, it was mostly about just, look, we want answers. We're hoping to get those answers. And if it leads to criminal prosecution, great. But I think, honestly, that meeting with the Platte County prosecutor is probably what expedited this toxicology report, because now, all of a sudden, the Kansas City Police Department, the medical examiners are seeing real action being taken by these victims' families, and they're hustling it along.
Yeah, I mean, I smell a wrongful death suit, probably 3 wrongful death suits at this point from the 3.
All right, that's just ridiculous. She smells a wrongful death lawsuit. Okay, that's ridiculous. Look, the district attorney agreed to meet with the family. If the toxicology report is not done, no matter what anyone says, they can't expedite it. There are scientific tests that take time to do. Something needs to take 7, 6 days, 8 days, 10 days in order to reach the test level. And no matter who, if the Lord comes down and says, expedite that toxicology, they can't do it. They can't just do it. At this point, somehow they had the 3 drugs that were in the blood, which was, of course, fentanyl, THC, and cocaine. And they were able to release that, and the families took a meeting with the district attorney and probably with the police that are running the investigation so as to explain to them what was going on in this investigation. But to prematurely talk about civil lawsuits when we don't even know exactly what happened yet is, it's baffling to me.
Yeah, Billy, the families got the preliminary results. They haven't had the final results from the lab or from the medical examiner's office yet. Miss Banfield, for all of her smarts, she puts the horse before the cart and talking about civil lawsuits. That would be far in the future, if ever. And, if the family members are going to sue someone, you'd have to establish that the fact that there's no contributory negligence by the person who you're representing, no, don't even go there. It's not worth it. And it's so speculative. It's not, people in the chat shouldn't even bother listening to Banfield. Not at all.